Now coming towards poisons, first we are going to talk about metallic poisons, जिसमें important आते हैं mercury, arsenic, lead वगैरह. So first of all, let's us discuss about mercury. So mercury occurs basically in three forms: elemental mercury, then come the compounds of mercury, inorganic compounds and organic compounds. Elemental mercury is not toxic, only vapor form of it is toxic. इसकी सिर्फ vapor toxic होती है. Inorganic compound की यदि बात की जाए, important हमारे लिए होते हैं मर्क्यूरिक क्लोराइड, जिसको कैलमल भी कहा जाता है, मर्क्यूरिक क्लोराइड एंड मर्क्यूरिक सल्फाइड, जिसको सिनेबार भी कहा जाता है, जो मर्क्यूरी का ओर होता है. एंड टॉकिंग अबाउट ऑर्गेनिक कंपाउंड्स विच आर मोस्ट टॉक्सिक, सो दीज आर मोस्ट टॉक्सिक, एंड इसमें भी सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट आता है मिथाइल मर्करी. सो विच वी हैव टू रिमेंबर इज मोस्ट टॉक्सिक कंपाउंड ऑफ मर्करी. Now coming towards, mercury is used in various forms in daily life. Like in medical, it is used as disinfectant. The thing which we have to remember is that thimerosal, that's a compound of mercury, product of mercury. It is used as a preservative in vaccines, for example, that include DTP and hepatitis B. Again, what is thimerosal? It's a preservative for vaccines. Then it is used to make products like in hat industry and glass blowing industry. This is the thing that we have to remember, as these industries have a high rate of chronic poisoning of mercury. Our instruments like thermometer and barometer are filled with mercury. If we try to understand how mercury is poisonous, so mercury, what it does is, our enzymes, many of our body enzymes have sulfhydryl groups attached to them, and what mercury actually does is it attacks the sulfhydryl groups and detaches them from the enzymes, after which the enzyme inactivates and the metabolism stops. These are enzymes like respiratory enzymes, which are very essential to us. And this is the thing that we have also discussed previously, that what antidotes do. Antidotes like if we talk about BAL, British anti-larvicide, so what they do is that they dissociate the sulfhydryl group from the mercury and attaches themselves to mercury or any kind of heavy metal, and then get excreted into stools. Now talking about what are the features of mercury poisoning, so here we can understand them in just one diagram. So as somebody comes in exposure of mercury, maybe it may be by inhalational route or maybe it by oral route. So first symptom that appears is the strawberry tongue. The tongue becomes glassy, strawberry and beaded, and that's a sign of mercury poisoning. After this, it will go down from esophagus to the stomach, and there will be a classical slate like gray appearance of the gastric mucosa. So we have seen strawberry tongue, slate like gray mucosa, and after that it comes into colon, and it causes diphtheria like colitis, inflammation of the colon, and that symptoms resemble to diphtheria like colitis. Getting absorbed into the blood vessels is it causes hypertension. It may cause circulatory collapse, and when it goes to the kidney, the most important feature here comes is that it is very dangerous to kidney. It causes PCT necrosis. So all the proximal convoluted tubules will be necrosed, that may result into renal failure. So again, let's have a quick view at this. What mercury causes is strawberry tongue. What mercury causes is strawberry tongue, mucosal slate like gray appearance, diphtheria like colitis, hypertension in the blood vessels, and circulatory shock and PCT necrosis. Coming forward, talking about its acute poisoning. Acute poisoning means taking large doses. So fatal dose of mercury is 10 to 60 milligram per kg of methyl mercury. That's the thing we have to remember. We talked that Methyl mercury is the most toxic compound. So 10 to 60 milligram per kg of methyl mercury is fatal, and 1 to 4 gram of mercury chloride is fatal. If we talk about fatal period, it is about 3 to 5 days. Now, what are the signs and symptoms of mercury poisoning? So, if we consume an inorganic compound of mercury, so there will be, first of all, hot burning pain over the whole of the GIT and abdomen. The patient will suffer hot and burning pain, and as we discussed earlier, the mucosal appearance will be gray, slate-like gray. So the vomitus have shredded mucosal cells, and it will also be grayish, mucoid. And if we talk about organic poisoning, organic means methyl mercury poisoning. So it is very important to know that there will be CNS symptoms. The patient will have ataxia, paralysis, visual field constriction. Now, considering the most important thing from our exam point of view, what is the treatment for mercury poisoning? So these are the points that we have to write. So first of all, as in every poisoning, remove further exposure. If we found a mercury everywhere on the body, we have to clean it off and provide supplemental oxygen to maintain airway. Now the next thing that we have to remember is that emesis is never induced in mercury poisoning, because there is a high risk of corrosive injury. So emetics will not be given, and even if a gastric lavage is done, it is done specifically with sodium formaldehyde sulfoxylate. This is the compound that we have to remember, sodium formaldehyde sulfoxylate. Then we can give charcoal, that's a good absorbent. And as antidotes, most important thing, we can give BAL, British anti-leukocyte, for chelation. We know we give British anti-leukocyte intramuscularly. And how's the dose? We know 4 hourly for 2 days, 6 hourly for the next 3rd day, and 8 hourly for the next 10 days. So we can give BAL, and the thing that we have to remember is EDTA will not be used in mercury poisoning. Another chelating agent that we can give is DMSA or success. Finally, if the patient is in circulatory shock, then we can give IV fluids to maintain electrolyte and fluid balance. Now talking about chronic poisoning. So as we discussed earlier, that mercury poisoning has a characteristic slate-like gray mucosa. So for remembering all the signs and symptoms of chronic poisoning, we have a simple mnemonic, that is slate gray mucosa itself. Now what does it mean? Let's look one by one. Strawberry tongue, we have already seen. Then another symptom is mercurial lentis. Now what is this mercurial lentis? There is mercurial vapor deposited in anterior lens capsule of the eye. So what will it cause? It will cause visual problems. So S for strawberry tongue, L for lentis, and A for acrodynia. Now what is acrodynia? So it's a disease that is also referred to as pink disease, and we can easily remember by its name, P for pink. And what are the symptoms that there occurs? P for peeling of skin, there is peeling of skin. P for pruritus, and P for painful peripheries. Peeling of skin, pruritus, and painful peripheries, these are the symptoms, and it occurs mostly in children that are exposed to mercury for a long time, chronic mercury poisoning. Now coming forwards, T refers to tremor, E for erethism. What is erethism? They are neuropsychiatric side effects. Means the patient may have also psychiatric problems, that is referred to as erethism. Now G is here referred to glass blower shake. We can also term it Hatter's shakes. So they are nothing but tremors that occur in chronic mercury poisoning, and they are specific tremors. And as we discussed earlier, mercury is used in hat industry and glass blowing industry, so there are more chances of chronic mercury poisoning there. So the tremors that occur in mercury poisoning, we term them glass blower shake or Hatter's shakes. And the last thing is Minamata disease. It is chronic mercury poisoning, and most oftenly it occurs due to fish consumption. So this is the last thing that we can remember, is that organic mercury poisoning mostly occurs due to fish consumption. So this was all about mercury poisoning. If you haven't subscribed the channel yet, then do subscribe it and click the bell icon to receive the latest notifications. Thank you. Tada.